Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your general reading for June 2025. If you just found my channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, bottom of the deck, adjacent possibilities, the unconsidered option. Doors opening, doors closing. All right, we'll see how this plays out. Discovery, well, there we go. News and information. Figuring something out, uncovering something. I just saw 222. We have family, friends, and guides with broken heart. Friends and colleagues. Okay. Why do I feel a rumor mill with this? I don't know why I do. But, it could be that there was something hurtful said, something you went through, another person went through. And if you don't know, maybe the entrance of people in the reading is, indicative that there were some other things or other relationships that were key to whatever you experienced with this person. Somebody's been figuring some things out. We have door to value, indecision, fragmented energy, victim mentality. Okay. Okay, I just heard Spirit say to me, we'll guide you through this at more of a macro level. Some stories could emerge for all of you, but I'm keeping it at a macro level. Okay. Is this more so someone, told another person, oh gosh, like a little bit of truth, but not in the weeds yet? I mean, there could be something there. Maybe Spirit is saying, you were told. Take that as it resonates, please. I don't want to distort that. Okay. I am hearing this is, wow, I just heard a truth bomb. Oh boy. Okay, guys. Let's see what's going on. There's something that you need to hear. What is that? What is the truth? And I'm going to clarify the heck out of this. I have a feeling I just saw 444. Okay. Gee. Come on, cards. Spill it. Spill it. Gee. I'm keeping them in order. Sometimes I get really pedantic about that. Other times it's not as critical, but for some reason, I don't know if that means this represents a timeline. Okay. Bottom of the deck. What you learn, what you know. The Page of Pentacles. Somebody is, I'm hearing, going to fill in some blanks for you. Okay. Page of Wands. Well, we have a couple messengers here. We have the Fool, the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Two of Cups. I feel like whatever it is, it weighs on someone. Regardless of how you have perceived this person's emotions or actions, there is something that, maybe this is they just have to get it off their chest. Queen of Swords, Ten of Wands. They may also feel like, something needs to be cleared up because it has, I don't know, tarnished their reputation. I'm not necessarily seeing that, but I can feel it. And I feel like whatever is said, it pivots your relationship in a pretty big way. I'm looking at this Ten of Wands in particular, like, okay, I just got to lay this down. And I feel like given what I'm feeling, I do feel a really strong solar plexus energy right now, like something in the pit of my stomach. It feels like this will alleviate something. So the delivery may be kind of straight to the point, but something that will allow this person to kind of get it off their chest. And then I feel like then there's this pause. Okay, like what's going to happen next? If there is a relationship at stake between you and the person delivering this news, I do get a sense of compassion with this. I do. Having said that, when I clarify, the stronger energy could be the influences around the person delivering this message, and we may learn more. we definitely have that showing up here with the Page of Pentacles. But I feel like the inspiration and the motivation to alleviate this is stronger than the results of the conversation. So, I don't know who you are in the story yet. You could be completely observing this, with someone else's life, and you're not the one who has something at stake. Maybe you are somewhat of a shoulder for someone, and they didn't want to, like, I'm kind of seeing someone like drawn into a messy situation. Maybe they chose not to do that. So you remained on the outskirts of what's going on, but you're about to learn like what happened. I feel like the goal of this, though, one more statement before we clarify. The goal of this is I don't want any ambiguity. That's what I'm feeling. Queen of Swords. No ambiguity. Okay, Page of Wands. Inspiration, a messenger, a traveler. We have the Star. Maybe something to heal a connection. Maybe someone has been through something really difficult. You have. They want to heal this. We have Aquarian, Aries energy. Okay. Page of Wands, the Star. The Five of Pentacles. I feel like this is the energy of someone who has been out of the loop, shut out, somehow, not involved or informed or something like that. Someone may have left something behind, might have lost something pretty significant. I don't know why this Five of Pentacles feels particularly heavy. Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, what about the Fool? What is that? I just heard I acted rashly when I decided to do this. And it kind of imploded on me. Like it didn't work out. I don't know if this is good intentions or every right to like fix something, and it I don't know if Spirit, they're not giving it to me super clearly. It's almost like I wanted to do this, but I didn't think it through. Okay, let's just paraphrase that. It was not coming through that clearly. The Fool. The Six of Wands. The Fool and the Six of Wands and the Sun. Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Swords. I'm going to get all the clarifiers out. I feel like we need to. Okay, we have the Six of Cups, Five of Wands showing up. Death energy, okay. Ten of Wands. High Priestess. Two of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles and the Fool with Judgment. Two of Cups. I feel like this is the big one. Two of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Six of Swords. Okay. I feel like the unintended consequence was something got reflected back to the person represented here, the person who has something to say. And, you know, if it shines a light on them in a good way, I mean, these can be really positive cards. Like there's a sense of, you know, recognition here. It could be a spotlight in not a great way. And I feel like if this person had to either recover your relationship or pick themselves back up to be seen in a different light, a new light, there could have been some interference there. I said when we clarify this Two of Cups, we're going to see more. And I'm almost getting that there is an interference here with this Knight of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, and it could be that something caught up with them, or something got, I don't know, divulged. I do feel like there was a relationship breakdown, a relationship ended. And, you know, maybe that was, listen, I'm just putting words into someone's mouth, but this is the way I'm receiving it. I need to tell you something that is, you know, material to how we relate to one another, to something happening in my life with my, you know, my family, my friends. And it feels like the deeper insight here, which ended up maybe being, you know, true, maybe then in a very material way affected other relationships. It changed something. It changed a relationship. It ended a relationship. Spirit, I think they're keeping me up here, like the 10,000 foot view into this. And I'm getting that, and Sag, this may be you, but what I'm getting is there was something significant about what was shared, what was learned. But the result of that, you didn't know. You were right. And the burden of truth lies in what was shared. Maybe you did, and that had to kind of seep in for this person. There's a change in direction in some way. And, you know, whether this is someone who is, okay, I'm hearing like I know better now. I know now what I need to do, and this is, you know, like a leap of faith, an investment in something new. The Fool's journey, starting again. We have the Fool twice, and I feel like it is. Well, I can carry around that burden of truth, or I can say something. I can, you know, own up. I can divulge what I know that I've needed to divulge. Okay, this is interesting. So I want to look at what weighs on this person most heavily where you are concerned. What weighs on this person most heavily where you are concerned? Wow, the cards are flying. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, the one on the floor is interesting. Okay, we have guilt, 8 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I wish this hadn't gone this way. I wish I had spoken my mind. Okay, I'm going to grab the one on the floor, which is a very interesting repeat of energies, the Fool, the Sun, and the Three of Pentacles. What weighs on them is perhaps an action they wish they hadn't taken. And I'm, if this truly, this Sun energy, interestingly, because in the tarot, another repeat card, the Sun it is about innocence. It can be about children. It doesn't have to be, but I feel like it is the opportunity to own what they want to own, but not be held accountable for something that was maybe something other people contributed to what happened. And maybe this is, I don't know, somebody in their space. We have earth, we have air, and I don't start rattling off signs. You know that about me if you watch my channel, but it's almost like the only way for the two of us, assuming this is an effect on your relationship with this person, but the only way for us to move forward is to subtract the people who created this rumor mill or drama or something like that. I want to tell you what is on my mind. This had nothing to do with me. Don't place that on me, or don't accuse me. And I don't necessarily see that, but I do see that there was the consequence. Perhaps was something in the past ended, and maybe it was abruptly, and they want to set the record straight. I feel like maybe this person has been saying, gosh, I trusted the wrong people. One other sign had that message. I don't remember them, so because I channel so much, I just don't hold on to it. But if you're cross watching for another sign, I did mention that it was something about, do you place your faith in the right people? Have you heard the right or the accurate truth? There's something about that. And maybe this, again, if you're an onlooker and this is happening in their life, maybe they needed to trust you in the first place and they didn't. Okay, anything else that weighs on them where you are concerned? And if you're kind of an innocent party in this and had nothing to do with this, well, you do, but like maybe there was something erroneously mentioned about you. And they're like, oh gosh, why did I listen to them? Okay, compromise. The Six of Pentacles, and we have the Two of Wands again. What happens next? Bottom of the deck, interesting. Beyond illusion. This is the Judgment energy in this deck. How you see it, what they choose to share with you, and what you do next. Well, we're kind of repeating that message. So let's take a look at the truth. Now, this could have so much to do with so many other things. So please put this into context. I've been through hell. Oh boy. They've been through a tough time living with or dealing with those unintended consequences, acting rashly, listening to the wrong people. I refuse to change. Okay, we have three more. This is mentally and emotionally draining. I'm unable to give you what you want. My work situation is changing. We do have perhaps a new opportunity with this Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Spirit is saying this applies differently to those watching. So I'm not going to try to overread this. but it's almost like expectations weren't set, weren't met. And, perhaps what you've been trying to figure out is, what was there ever like a plan in place to I'm getting like to separate from or unchain themselves perhaps from something, and maybe that was never the case. Spirit, what were the assumptions made here? Let's take a look at that. What were the assumptions made? This feels so cryptic. The Three of Pentacles. Maybe that there was like a collaboration. Somebody was in cahoots. I'm hearing cahoots. Another lover. What was the assumption? The Three of Cups. Friendships, involvements, interference. And we're not seeing the Five of Wands yet, but I'm feeling it. The Five of Pentacles and the World. I feel like what I'm hearing from Spirit is that there was a deliberate shutting out, and the reason for that could have been something about other people being a part of this, whatever it is, however it played out for you. But was that true, Spirit? The Devil. Yeah, it was true. We have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. I feel like the burden that was placed on this person or this relationship is something that ended up being so complex. Wow, I just heard somebody feels like a total idiot. Oh gosh, well, I want to know what comes next, because I feel like this has been a reflection on something like that was not clear to you. Okay, well then let's answer that. Yes, let's answer that before we get to what comes next. What gets cleared up for you then? Is this, okay, well, there will be communication. The Eight of Wands. Something about, a message will help you. Page of Wands. Someone may even decide, I'm getting, because this is my traveler energy, someone may decide to look at you face to face, because I'm kind of getting this page, this messenger is wanting to deliver it in person. Is that correct? Yes. Yeah. They want to alleviate this energy. Gosh, this Fool is crazy. It just keeps showing up. So, what else? Okay, wow, this is kind of interesting. We have the Queen of Wands, you, with the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. I want one more for this Queen of Wands. Okay, I feel like this is what you learn. This is what is given to you. This is what is coming to you. Now, this could be truth. It's something tangible. Is it a gift? Is this some sort of, reclamation or restitution? I don't know. One more for the Queen of Wands. The King of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. I'm almost getting that this is, I'm gonna put words to this, even though this is not about necessarily about a conversation, but maybe it is. I want you to know what I've been working on. I feel sincerity with this King of Cups energy. Although this could be a really difficult delivery, a difficult message, and it's like, okay, but here it is. And it's all in the spirit of, I can't carry this around anymore. So what should you do in this situation, Sagittarius? What should you do? Be open to hearing them out. Is this closure for you? What should you do? Okay, we have two cards, time for a nap and flexible. Bottom of the deck, the tribe. This can be an energy of being connected, being supportive. I'm looking at these two giraffes. Have the conversation, message in a bottle. All that glitters, blessed. What I see here, though, is if you're stressed about this, if there is something you need to sort of, disconnect from, I'm seeing somebody unplug something. Maybe do that. If you find that you're kind of, in a swirl of challenging things, if this is something gets thrown at you, like I don't want to say like you have to create a workaround or have to make time for this person or something like that, but it's coming out. Just be flexible, be accommodating. What else? What should Sagittarius do? This has been a really weird cryptic reading, but hey, okay. Well, the truth is going to allow you to fix this, to mend fences, mend a relationship, speak your truth as well. If this is, listen, no pretense here. I'm going to drop the mask. I'm just going to say what's on my mind. I feel like then, change in the wind showing up, observer, be observant. Wow. It just fell off the deck as I pointed to this. Interesting. Pay attention to what you are observing. I feel like Spirit is saying, if at the end of this game of, not game, but this scenario of playing telephone or hearing bits and pieces, but maybe not the whole truth, you might have to sift through what is being shared, and be prepared if you don't get what you're looking for or don't feel as though someone is being like straight up with you. And that is sort of, the MO or the cover or whatever it is. Just know that. I'm kind of feeling like there's a skewing in some way. Is there any other information about what could be skewed? Wow, that flew out. Someone doesn't want to be vulnerable. This fawn is being told by mama, just this is what we do. We hide. We are vulnerable and we need to protect ourselves. What is skewed? We have marriage. Boy, this can go a whole other direction, guys. But let's just say there's a partner. What is skewed? Life partner. What is the I don't, the way it just came through to me is like the ultimate, conclusion. And I don't know if this is you with this person or this person's situation. you know, the other people involved could certainly be like a spouse or a long-term partner. But what is the ultimate conclusion? A new beginning. Bottom of the deck, a blessing. All right, let's... I can't believe how cryptic this was. A little difficult to navigate something that is just really about truth-telling, because it could be so different for all of you. But I hope I did it justice. Hopefully you got your message. Okay, there is a karmic cycle. I feel someone might be feeling the sting of the past. Now, when we can understand our involvement, our decisions, everything is contributing to you know, a better outcome, a better decision. That it could be a little humble pie being served to someone. Mitigate distraction. I'm getting just other people. Anything else? Focus on your goals. Honesty. It did come out in reverse. I feel like this conversation really will clear some things out. I'm going to leave it there because I don't know where else to take this. It was kind of an unusual message, but if it resonates for you, you're going to be like, okay, that's what I needed to know. So I hope that's the conclusion you're drawing. So thanks, Sag. Sorry this was a little bit cryptic, but hopefully what you needed. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.